September 1978. 600 miles off the American coast, Hurricane Ella is churning toward New York City. In Midtown Manhattan, a small group of people is tracking its path hour by hour, and they are terrified. Because they know something 7 million New Yorkers don't. One of the city's newest skyscrapers has a hidden flaw. If Ella's winds strike it from the corner, the tower could fall, and the repairs are only half finished.
To understand how it came to this, go back 2 years. When Citicorp planned its new headquarters, one corner of the block was already taken by a small church that refused to move unless the new tower didn't touch it. So engineer William Le Mesurier did something radical. He lifted the entire 59-story tower 9 stories into the air on 4 massive columns, and he placed those columns not at the corners, but in the middle of each side. The church kept its corner, the tower floated above it. To handle the wind, Le Mesurier ran giant V-shaped braces down the tower, carrying every gust into those 4 legs. And on the roof, he installed something no skyscraper had ever used, a 400-ton concrete block floating on oil, sliding back and forth to calm the building's sway. On paper, it was brilliant. On paper, it was safe.
Then, in June 1978, the phone rang. A student writing a thesis asked a simple question. What happens when the wind hits the building diagonally, right on the corner? Standard practice said corner winds were never the worst case, but this building wasn't standard. Le Mesurier ran the numbers. On this design, a diagonal wind increased the strain on some braces by 40%. That alone shouldn't have mattered. The joints had a huge margin of safety. Except for one detail he discovered next. During construction, to save money, the braces' connections had been changed. Instead of welds, they used bolts, and no one had rechecked them for diagonal winds. The margin was gone. A storm strong enough to tear the tower apart hits New York about once every 55 years. And if that storm knocked out the power, the rooftop damper would die with it, cutting the odds to 1 storm in every 16 years.
Le Mesurier faced a choice that could end his career: stay silent or turn himself in. He confessed to the lawyers, to the insurers, to Citicorp itself. And the bank's answer was surprisingly simple: fix it, whatever it takes. So every night that August, after the office workers went home, welders slipped into the tower. Their job: weld thick steel plates over more than 200 bolted joints, making every weak connection stronger than the original design. Every morning, they hid their work before employees returned. The city had no idea, and by pure luck, New York's newspapers were on strike. Meanwhile, the Red Cross quietly drafted an evacuation plan for the neighborhood, and forecasters were hired to watch the Atlantic around the clock.
On September the 1st, they saw it. Hurricane Ella, packing winds over 100 miles per hour, tracking toward the East Coast. The welding was barely half done. Strain gauges bolted to the braces felt the building's every move. In a quiet office, the men who knew ran the numbers again and again. How much wind could the tower take today, tomorrow? An evacuation order sat drafted, ready to be signed, clearing blocks of Midtown Manhattan. For 2 days, Ella crept closer, and the welders worked through the nights. And then, a few hundred miles offshore, Ella turned. Slowly, the hurricane curved away from the coast and wandered back into the open Atlantic. New York never even felt the rain.
By October, the last plate was welded. Quietly, the Citicorp Tower had become one of the strongest skyscrapers on Earth, able to withstand a storm seen once in 700 years. And then, nothing happened. No headlines, no scandal. The secret held for 17 years,
until a writer uncovered the story in 1995. What happened next surprised everyone. Le Mesurier wasn't ruined. His confession became one of the most famous case studies in engineering ethics. Proof that admitting your worst mistake can be the bravest thing an engineer ever does. As for the student whose question started it all, she didn't learn what her call had set in motion for decades. Her name was Diane Hartley. The tower she helped save still stands over Manhattan, its scars hidden inside the walls, holding it up. Some buildings are saved by steel. This one was saved by a question.